Hello YouTube. This video is going to be a bit different to my usual content. I'm going to do a somewhat of an unboxing and a short review on the Leagoo M8 Pro 4G phablet. I don't usually purchase any unknown brands when it comes to tech related products, but for the price that I bought the phone and the specs that it comes with, I found quite interesting and I thought I'd give it a go. Admittedly, the phone doesn't come with some features that the Samsung and iPhones normally come with, like NFC reader just off the top of my head, but for the price and the spec, I think it's a pretty good phone. The boot up time does take a little while. I didn't exactly time it, but I did find that I was waiting a little bit here at the beginning. I'll go over the specs and I'll also throw those up on the screen there, so they're a lot easier to read. So the CPU in this phone is an MTK 6737, which is MediaTek, I believe. It's a 1.3 GHz quad core CPU. The GPU running in this is the Mali T720. It's got 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage. For the display, it has a 5.7 inch 1280 by 720 pixel resolution screen. While it's not full HD, it does look very clean, very crisp, and it's easy to read your apps and your text on screen. It's running on Android 6.0 with Freeme or Freem OS as its UI. Phone is pretty solid. To some people it might be a little bit on the heavy side. I find it's quite nice. Overall, the phone's pretty snappy. It has a few cool features like the power saving feature here, which is basically a dumbed down version of the UI. It gives you access to your SMS, phone, contacts and timer. You can also exit out of that from here. It's pretty snappy. You've got your standard your Play Store down the bottom here. I've changed the theme of this so the icons look a little bit different, as you can see there. The only annoying thing about the phone I find is that it doesn't actually have any buttons on the bezel down the bottom here. The buttons are basically touch, so you've got your back and your home and your settings. So there is a bit of thick bezel down the bottom here, which could have well and truly fit some buttons there, which would have been very handy. But you can get used to this, and you do have the option to hide this. So let's go through some of the apps here. You've got your standard settings, Wi-Fi. Turbo download just allows you to use the 4G to download. You got SIM cards, you got dual SIM cards. pretty much all the same settings that you would get on any Android device. Some information on the phone there. You got your fingerprint scanner on the back. I haven't actually set this up yet. I don't really have a use for it. I prefer to just log in using a PIN. But I'm sure it works fairly well. Let's try some games, see how we go with the games. Being a retro channel, I will eventually put some emulators on here and try some retro games, but for now I'll just try some Android games. I won't get too carried away with it. That's Savant Ascent. It's a pretty cool game. Oh yeah, one thing I should point out is in game, because you don't have the touch buttons on the bezel there, you basically just have to swipe out like so. So then when you swipe out, you get the menu, and you can exit out from there. Here we go. Let's try another game. So that's the games. When I received this, it had roughly 50% battery life at the top there. I've been using this for a whole day now. Very minimal use, bit of Facebook, bit of Google, on a full charge, and I've got about 50% of battery left at the end of the day. You will obviously drain more battery the more you use the phone, and depending on what you do, but so far it's been pretty good. I'll just set up the camera and we can take some photos, and I'll show you what the camera's like. It's got an 8 megapixel front camera with a 13 megapixel plus 5 megapixel dual back camera. So as you can see, this is the camera here. There's not much in terms of the controls that you've got. You can take a photo. You've also got this SLR thing here, which allows you to blur out the backgrounds and stuff. It does help with I guess selfies and those types of photos and nature shots. But this is a retro channel, so I'm going to just be taking some photos of some retro items. Come on, Donkey Kong, play ball. That'll do for now. Now the photos do come out pretty well. Really depends on the lighting, as with any phone or camera that you have. The lighting plays a big part in the overall shot, but I'm pretty happy with the camera. I'll just load up a quick YouTube video and show that side of things off. As you can see, it's pretty smooth. I mean, you can go through and close down your recent apps, as with any Android device you normally have. If anyone has any questions on this phone, feel free to ask. Drop them in the comments. There's only so much I can point out, because I'm not fully into the ins and outs of each section of the phone. I only use it for what I use it for, usually phone calls and messaging, camera and Facebook. which I'm sure most people out there are on the same page. Also maps as well. Maps are very handy. If anyone's interested in this phone or where I got it from, I got it from a website called Gearbest. I'll pop a link in the description and on the screen now if you want to go to the website. I got the phone on special for $106.60 Australian. I believe it was about $70 to $80 US. But a pretty reasonable phone in terms of specs and the price. Anyone who's after a cheap phone and aren't too picky with name brands and stuff like that, I would recommend this phone. Also check out Gearbest website. They have plenty of other good tech and cheap products. If you managed to get this far into the video, I hope it helped with possibly purchasing this phone or answering some questions that you may have had about this phone. I know I looked online before buying and I didn't find too much that would help me out in purchasing this phone. So in the end I bit the bullet and went and got it. And so far I'm happy with the purchase. That's it for now. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bada bing, bada boom.